It's G to the T to the A to the motherfucking F. Coming back at 5M bullshit. First day of handling files. We got this tuning laptop. We have lots of tuning values. And I'll talk more about them all later. We got like the RPM tune, steering log, brake fucking bias, roll centers, suspension force. Like it's like a little Forza Horizon fucking menu. The tire profiles are gonna go away, but I just have those lines for now to test, the grippiness that we might need. Burnout modifier, that's how fucking extra unnatural burnouty your tires are gonna be, and so on and so on. I'm probably gonna make a spare separate video on the car tuner itself as we tweak each line, fuck with each value. However, for now, we're just gonna take a brief look at the handling files, what they do, what like kind of structure we got going on behind all that bullshit, and see what the plans are for the next video. And there you go. Let's just open up the handling file for whatever Shiava car that we got going on. It's like 500 different vehicles. This is pretty much the juice, the meat of this video. Let's take a look. If you count all of these values up, there's a total of 36 lines that affect the handling of the car, plus some extra ones. Let me see. Let's go over here. You see, we have few more extra lines that not every car is going to have. You see that one says null, 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 and so on. But we'll just find some and I'll show you where those 3 extra lines are. We'll mess with them later. That's about that for those. So let me just demonstrate. See how at the bottom of the handling file, some cars have 3 of this back end pop-up value and whatever. Those 3 we're gonna play with later on. We're not counting them as the initial 36 values. So if you count all of the lines that actually affect the handling files, I call it rule of 36. Ooh, super nerdy, but rule of 36 means we got 36 values affecting your handling file in your car. Basically, I organized each line to represent whether it is a part of the car when you buy it, like mass, drug, um, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, the engine power, how it shifts. You could see right there where it says car package. That's the stuff basically that you pay for when you buy a car, that not much you could change it without heavy modifications. This is like your car package. That's why it's called car package. Handbrake force, upper limit, suspension force. Some of these have different colors, and I'll explain it to you why. Right there in green, we have tuner options, and right now we have a little bit more options that it shows right here on the table, but these green ones are for sure what the tuner is going to allow you to tweak. The yellow lines are your tire profile. I believe there's 7 or 8 total. I might be missing one. Total lines that affect your tire profile, how grippy it is, and yada 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 yada. Brake force is, brake force, duh. However, let's say you could buy an upgrade, better brakes upgrade, better suspension upgrade, or faster shifting upgrade, some kind of usable item that you could use on your car to change these values. Would be same with upper and lower and suspension raise. Certain suspension kits in real life that you could purchase will allow you to mess with those values on your actual car in real life. So brake upgrades, suspension upgrades, transmission upgrades, maybe some tire profiles like Cipalli tires 5000 or whatever. While purple lines are the most important ones. This is your power and torque pretty much. To simplify it, GT has it a little bit different. However, when we break it down into categories, 17 fields would be representing your chassis and like your car package and your chassis all together. Um, we have 8 tire fields, 7 suspension fields, and 4 like anti-roll bars, anti-fucking like the roll for the car. It's also part of all of this is mostly part of the body of the car, but you could split it into those subsections, and I already started to dial down some basic profile for a car that you cannot change just like off the bat with the tuner. Mass, drag, downforce, da 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 da. We're gonna start with the center of gravity, the mass, and how far it is in relationship to the front and rear tires, and da 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 da. Those of you that know, those of you that don't, you can do your own little research. Basically, if you summarize all the mass of the car into one point, that's going to be your center of gravity. You can see how a bus has a high center of gravity, and so on and so forth. Here, we have a little diagram to where approximately, to my view, different cars would have their center of gravity set up for. A truck is a good example where it's towards the front because we don't have any weight of a trailer in the back, and so on and so on. Roadster, cabrio, supercar, due to the engineering, would have the lower end center of gravity. Cabrio because it doesn't have a roof, and so on and so forth. There's reasonable explanations. To summarize it even further, if you imagine the cars as these boxes of different shape, and let's say one is filled with concrete and another one is filled with sand or foam or whatever, so different weight and different shape of those boxes would be representing the different shapes and sizes of the vehicles in real life, and da 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 da, so on and so forth. I hope you could get the basic connection into the first couple of physics lines that we'll be editing in order to bring the most basic qualities of a vehicle. Is it a big box? Is it a low box? Is it a tall box? Is it a heavy box? And so on and so forth. Then a little bit towards the weight balance we'll talk about in a different video. Front, rear, if it's heavy on the front, then the center of gravity will be towards the front, and vice versa. If the engine is in the back, usually the center of gravity would be a little bit backwards, and so on and so on, with 50-50 being right down the middle. Anyhow, what else we got going on in here? Basic profile for the car. Remember the rule of 36 and try in your head to split the fucking values for chassis, tires, suspension, and anti-roll bars and all that shit. We'll be playing with the tuner options and the lines that are available for you to tune through the car tuner. In the next videos, probably we're gonna touch, all those lines and what they do and how to play with them. I'm also gonna be working on making an item that you can use that could change the brake force or your engine power or like some of that stuff. That's for the future as well, but for now, just a basic kind of look. 36 values, you split them up into these 4 sections, and we'll be working with each one separately, trying to bring the differences from real life into the game. Like a big ass bus should drive like a big ass bus compared to a supercar or a little smart car, and vice versa. I'll show you all the techniques that we're gonna implement, but for now, first video, give it a thumbs up, a thumbs like, or whatever, because I actually fucking made it. Let's go. It was G to the T to the A to the motherfucking F. One more time. See ya.